upon my thorough review of all the evidence.
As a former Superior Court judge, Paul Katz has overseen many criminal cases, including the infamous Richard Horowitz murder trial in the early 90s.
And earlier in my career, I spent almost 7 years as a federal prosecutor here in Arizona in the United States Attorney's Office.
And speaking from that experience, he believes lawmakers are getting it wrong when it comes to dealing with the opioid crisis.
We've gotten more into retribution and incarceration than we are dealing with rehabilitation and treatment.
Katz does think the recent law passed in Arizona is a start. He applauds money for treatment, but would like to see more. And he worries too much focus is being placed on physicians who prescribe painkillers.
It's somewhere between 1 and at the most 5% of people who are prescribed opiate medications that ever become addicted.
And here is where Katz can also speak from far more personal experience.
My son, who's now 31 years old, about 5 years ago, started on pills. He got them on the street or from friends. He didn't get them because of a knee injury or an athletic injury.
Those pills not only led to a heroin addiction, but a felony drug charge, something Katz does not believe should happen.
If it's under what we now call the threshold amount and it's the first time and they are a drug user or a drug possessor, I'd like it to be not criminal at all, but if it's going to be criminal, treat it as a misdemeanor and give the person an opportunity to go to rehab.
Katz says it's easy to say the threat of prison will force addicts to stop using, but that is not the case.
But if the county attorney or any federal or state prosecutor thinks holding the felony gun to someone's head is going to help cure them, it won't, because they're not thinking like you or I am thinking that I don't want to get a felony conviction. They just are worried about going through withdrawal.
Katz's son avoided a felony conviction by going through a diversion program called TASK. But Katz says even that is not addressing the problem.
It's not a treatment program.
Besides more money for treatment, he hopes lawmakers pass a needle exchange bill now working its way through the legislature.
Furthering drug use isn't helping us.
I know our county attorney has expressed discontent or disagreement with that, thinking it's going to encourage addicts to continue using. But addicts aren't thinking in the way that Bill Montgomery or Paul Katz or you are thinking. They're not rational.
And he worries a bill that would require mandatory sentencing for those caught selling opiates will also catch users trying to support their habit, again without addressing the real problem: addiction.
It's great for the employment of lawyers and judges and police officers, but it's not good for society.
He says what's also not good for society, the tougher talk from the president.
And that toughness includes the death penalty.
Personally and professionally, Katz believes there's a better way.
We don't want to kill people just because they're using drugs. We want to help them, and we want them to not commit other crimes.